this means nothing to the story. There's so many people up in arms right now, and people just need to shut up and just let them cook because Ronald D. Moore is the man. And they're getting great directors behind this. God of War. So when I was elated when this first image popped up because if you're not aware, God of War, I mean, we've been talking about it. It feels like we've been talking about it in the show a lot, but Amazon's God of War show coming from showrunner Ronald D. Moore, very highly acclaimed showrunner who's made multiple great television series. And coming in to make God of War, it's going to be special. It already has a 2-season order, so they're going to make 2 seasons of this based on the 2018 video game and 2023 God of War Ragnarok, with of course some ties to the past trilogy from the early 2000s on PlayStation. Now, with this first initial image, it sucks. Not the image,
Okay.
but the conversation around it, because you know I'll kind of talk about my first thoughts, which are when I first saw this, I was just excited that this is actually being made. Like this is like what John Campea coins the tangibilize tangibilize tangibilization. So it's a tangible,
Tangibalization.
yeah, it's a word like that. So it's a physical representation of a tangible thing that is being made right now, and the tangibilization of this is beautiful because I'm a diehard God of War fan, and to actually see this in live action is super special. And you got Ryan Hurst playing Kratos. Ryan Hurst is an incredible talent to come in to do this. And our young guy who's playing Atreus, Callum Vincent, which Callum Vincent, he's like low key on the rise right now. Well, low key, no pun intended, but he's kind of on the rise. He's actually gonna be in the new Camp Crystal Lake prequel series starring as Jason Voorhees, a young Jason Voorhees. So he's gonna be in 2 like decently high profile TV shows going on at the same time. Because I think he's filming that soon, probably right after they're done shooting God of War. But again, this is the first official look at God of War. And when I first saw this again, super excited that this is actually happening. It's the physical representation of it happening. But I think they could have chosen a better image just because the way Kratos is kind of crouched, he almost kind of gives that fatherly look to him, which he is the father to Atreus. So it does feel natural, but I don't know. I feel like when you first want to show off Kratos, Kratos is the mother trucking God of War, man. You want to show him, you want to show his epicness, either with the axe or maybe the blades of chaos or just his stature. Like with this first image, we don't get that sense of the size of Kratos, the epicness of Kratos. I think we get a great shot of Atreus, and I think he looks pretty good in terms of the costuming. It looks perfect to me. The paint on Kratos looks great. His costuming looks perfect. The set design behind it and in front of it, all the woodsy, it looks straight out of the game. Like everything looks straight out of the game, which is beautiful. Like pretty much the first section of the game where he's teaching Atreus how to hunt, and it's a great section. But seeing Ryan Hurst as Kratos for the first time, I will say I wouldn't say I'm let down, but I can't wait to see more because this is our first image, and this means nothing to the story. Like, there's so many people up in arms right now, and people just need to shut up and just let them cook because Ronald D. Moore is the man. And they're getting great directors behind this. They have clearly a great costume designer behind this, production designer. Like, they're getting top tier people behind this. And Amazon has proven to put out great quality content like Fallout, another great video game adaptation that has been nominated for Best Drama at the Emmys, which is the highest honor it can get. Of course, it could win, but still, like Fallout being nominated for Best Emmy or Best Drama at the Emmys is great. And of course, Last of Us was nominated for Best Emmy as well. So, we're getting countless game adaptations that are just coming out swinging. So there's no question. I'm fully believe that God of War is going to bring it, regardless of how you think this looks. It has no consequence on the story. The story is completely different. The story needs to hit, and I believe the story will hit. David, curious your thoughts on this kind of topic. Like I know we've talked about in the past with the Odyssey controversy and like, oh well, the armor's not accurate to the time. It's a freaking myth. What are you talking about accuracy? And regardless, the accuracy
Fictional
of the armor,
story.
yeah, and the accuracy doesn't mean shit. It's all about
Yeah,
the story. The story is what
yeah.
matters and the characters. So, yeah, what's your thoughts on this kind of controversy?
This is interesting. I'm not familiar with the God of War games. I've seen clips and memes about it and stuff. So when I first saw this image, I was like, "Oh, that's from the game." Like
Oh.
this is a shot from the game, and the fact that it's not is pretty incredible.
Mhm.
Um, excuse me, but it does look really good. I see your point with Kratos in a position of it's a very fatherly, type of image where he looks like he's very focused on training his
Yeah.
his son, which based on like the God of War, series, it seems like he's not super fit to be a father. I don't know if that's
He's not.
like
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So
The whole series,
it
yeah, is
so
him being a better father, at least trying.
So it's interesting that we get this particular shot because that is so widely known about Kratos' character, but we kind of had to have this shot because it establishes the way, the two main characters are going to look.
Mhm.
And I was, it would, I guess Atreus he looks a lot younger than he does in the games.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say he looks a little younger because I saw some people comparing the photos of God of War Ragnarok to this, and Ragnarok, he's older. He's older
Hmm.
by like 5 years, it seems like. So, comparing this to 2018 God of War, like, yeah, he might seem a little younger, but it's not like off-putting. Like, it looks fine
Okay.
to me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe they're probably gonna release other images at different times. We're not 100% sure exactly what the strategy is going to be with the releasing of images. But again, like you said, the tangibilization of it, getting like
Keyword.
you have something tangible that is from the production on it. Like you can visually see
Yeah,
it.
it's great.
So yeah, it's cool. Again, I legitimately thought it was from the game.
Right.
And video game adaptations have been absolutely blowing it out of the water. Ever since really 2020, it seems like that, like at post 2020, everyone's figured it out. Like it
Yeah.
seems like people have figured out how to make a good video game adaptation. So with and the director of the game is working on this, correct?
I wanna say he is attached to it, Cory Barlog, he should be. Um, yeah, I don't know for certain, but I would assume. Could be wrong, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a winning formula. I mean, Neil Druckmann in the Last of Us series, like, why would you not wanna have the you have the source material, but you want the source creator,
Right.
also to be working on the project and doing it justice in the way that they feel is worthy, right? I mean, it only makes sense. It just never made sense to me why they wouldn't have those people doing that. In video game adaptations like these. As far as the controversy goes, anytime with video game adaptations, there's going to be a lot of pushback. As I was just praising the video game adaptations of recent, there's a lot of pushback all the time because like people have weird attachments to the source material in like kind of strange ways. So
Mhm.
like if something is changed, it's like immediately makes it like the worst thing ever in the history of mankind. So
Yeah.
um like
Ev
that's how it felt with The Last of Us season 2. A little bit season 1, but more so season 2.
Mhm.
People really, really hating on it. For I mean, there's really no good reason. I mean,
No.
changes are made because of the way that the medium causes things to be different. So you have to adapt different things. And so what
Yep.
are going to be the key things that you don't want to change? And for Last of Us, primarily was the relationships between like the characters. That was like a huge deal. And it's for the most part, it seems like they haven't changed that aspect of it.
No,
Uh,
yeah. I mean, after playing the games for years, like they nail the relationships of those characters and the characters themselves. And like you said, it's a great example or a great point. It's that the medium is completely different. Like games are
mhm.
made to be played. Like you're playing
Yes.
them.
Yes.
Film and TV, you watch, and it's
Yes.
completely different.
You watch. And a perfect example of an adaptation that Neil Druckmann had talked about of a change that they made, which was talked about on the podcast,
Yeah, it was
for
a
The
great
Last of Us.
podcast.
Fantastic. Was the fact that was Abby's character and the way Abby looked. Because in the game, it's is a big part of her character that she looks huge.
Right.
And the reason why is because when you play as different characters, especially in that kind of game, you want them to feel different. Like
Yep.
there's a feel to the character. So Ellie's character feels much different than Joel. And so you wouldn't want to create Abby's character to feel the same way as Ellie.
Mhm.
And so because they don't have because that's not an the play style, you can't play a TV show except you press play.
Yeah.
You can't play the character in a game, so they felt like, okay, well, they didn't need to have that aspect of it. And I totally agree. You just want someone who can fit um the role the best. And like in
Yep.
the game, like in the game, like you are slaughtering everyone all the time. Like it
All
is
the
an
time, yeah.
absolute bloodbath. And I mean, you are malicious, but in the like show, like if if the character kills like one person, it's like a massive deal, right?
Yep.
Like the level of it is just like on completely different extremes. And so sometimes it's frustrating when people like don't quite understand why changes were made, and it just seems like they hate to hate. So you're always going to get that with stuff like this. But it's just an image. It's one image, and hopefully we get some more. But with all the video game adaptations banging, and you know the creator of the game attached to it, looks really cool. Got again good directors, high hopes, high expectations.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. This could be super special coming in from Amazon. And yeah, it's just one image. That's all. That's all it is. One image. We haven't even seen a freaking trailer yet. And even regardless how the trailer looks, it still doesn't mean the show's going to be good or bad.
Hmm.
So people just pump the brakes, please, and just let them stir up the pot because Ronald D. Moore is going to show you what he's cooking. All right. That is God of War. First image revealed. Let us know your guys' thoughts. Hopefully, it doesn't get too spicy in the comments. But yeah, curious to hear your thoughts on that.